who will be the next iPhone and who will be the next Nokia. In this part, we'll talk about how this revolution will bring about the future of mobility and how it will affect all of us. So what is this revolution we are talking about? Let me use an analogy from a revolution that has already happened, that most of us that are above 30 years old not only witnessed, but experienced firsthand. We have had telephones for more than a century now. From the earliest switchboard-operated telephone to rotary dials to digital push-button telephones, the gradual evolution of telephones made communication easier, faster, and cheaper. But it did not revolutionarily change our lives. Even the introduction of mobile phone in the 80s did not revolutionize the way we use our phone. It merely untethered us to a specific location when we communicate, allowing us to travel freely. True revolution came with the introduction of the touch screen. I'm not sure if all the viewers here would remember the early touch screen, but I remember my father had one in the late 90s. These early touch screens are unwieldy and buggy, but despite all their weaknesses, they opened the gate for the creation of the smartphones. And a decade after the introduction of the touch screen, smartphones completely revolutionized our lives. So what about cars? Now, just as phones became smart, cars are becoming intelligent. And the revolution that is coming to our cars is the autonomous driving technology. Now, we need to cover some basics of autonomous driving. So if you're already well versed in this, just bear with me. At the lowest level, we have level 0. This means no autonomous driving whatsoever. Level 1 means low-level automation, like lane keep assist, adaptive cruise control. These are things that we already have. This is level 1. Level 2 is the actual beginning of autonomous driving, but only supposed to work in limited locations here. The fallback of level 2 is on the driver, and because of this, driver constant monitoring is required. Eyes on, hands off, they call it. Now, I've actually experienced this in a Tesla Model 3. Some cars on the road are already able to do this. We're living in this right now. But level 3 is where true self-driving is. Driver monitoring no longer is required unless on demand. Hands off, eyes off, but mind on. You can scroll TikTok, watch YouTube, reply email, everything except sleeping, because driver presence is still required on demand. And level 4 autonomous driving is eyes off, hands off, and minds off, meaning you can nap even at the back. The fallback is no longer on the driver, and the car can bring itself to a safe stop in emergency. But it's still geofence, that's the limitation. And of course, the final level is level 5, removal of the geofence, unrestricted driverless autonomy. Once a car reaches level 4+ in autonomous driving, it no longer is just a car. It will completely transform the relationship of human beings, the owners, with their cars. Send your kids on a school run or pick up your groceries while you sleep in. Order your car to look for a charger while you're at work, and then pick you up when you're off work, send you to the airport, and have the car find its way back to your house by itself. An intelligent car ceases to be just a personal transport. It becomes an extension of yourself, your avatar. That happens to also be another joint venture brand of EV between Huawei and Chang'an. I'm telling you, these guys can see the future of mobility right at the tip of their finger, almost touching it. But can't we do autonomous driving with conventional internal combustion cars? Sure, it's technically possible, but the level of integration of the technology required for full autonomous driving in an ICE car is significantly more complicated than in an EV. Not to mention the power consumption of ICE car architecture. It will be like smartphoning with a BlackBerry trackpad or trackball, if you remember what they are. You can technically do it, but none of us wants to do that, isn't it? As for why Huawei is working with so many brands, I suspect this is because the frontier of autonomous driving technology development is quite crowded. China alone has more than a dozen companies developing autonomous driving technology. Some of them are even major EV companies as well. Companies already reaching level 4 autonomous driving includes Baidu, WeRide, Pony.ai, and AutoX, with automotive giants trailing very close behind at level 3 like Huawei, Momenta, BYD, Geely, NIO, and XPeng. The US are just as close, with Waymo and Zoox already reaching level 4 autonomous driving, and Tesla is not far behind at level 3 testing. The Europeans are also closely behind, with VW testing level 4 autonomy. Benz and BMW are already at level 3 autonomous driving capable. What all this means is that the breakthrough to level 4 plus or level 5 autonomous driving will be a very close call, and most will reach there within months of each other, not years. I suspect Huawei's HiMa approach in working with multiple EV partners simultaneously is a strategy that let them hit the ground running with as much market exposure as possible the moment they get to deploy their technology, and at the same time not keeping all their eggs in one basket. We live in exciting times, man. The future of mobility is right around the corner, and I'm excited to see who will be the next iPhone and who will be the next Nokia.